Do you ever feel like there's a deeper level of understanding, a sharper insight, a genius lying dormant within you, just waiting to be awakened? Perhaps you sense that the conventional answers and accepted truths don't always capture the full picture. This feeling, this quiet yearning for something more, is a powerful starting point for an incredible journey of discovery. What if the key to unlocking this hidden potential wasn't about acquiring new information, but about radically re-examining what you already think you know? Today, we delve into the mind of Socrates, a philosopher whose unconventional approach to wisdom turned Athens upside down and continues to challenge us to think more deeply, more critically, and more authentically. Socrates believed that true wisdom begins with the admission of ignorance. He famously claimed, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This wasn't false modesty. It was a profound understanding that unexamined beliefs are the greatest barriers to genuine insight. He proposed a method to challenge everything, especially our most cherished assumptions. Our minds are like ancient cities, built layer upon layer with beliefs passed down, assumptions absorbed unconsciously, and conclusions drawn long ago. Many of these foundations remain uninspected, yet they shape our entire worldview, our decisions, and our perception of our own capabilities. Challenging them is like an archaeological dig into our own consciousness. The hidden genius Socrates prompts us to unlock isn't about IQ scores or prodigious talent in a specific field. It's about the genius of clarity, the brilliance of authentic self-knowledge, and the creative power that emerges when we free our minds from the shackles of dogma and uncritical acceptance. It's about learning how to think, not just what to think. Consider the beliefs you hold about yourself, your limits, your strengths, your place in the world. Where did these come from? Were they consciously chosen after rigorous examination, or absorbed from your environment, from others, from societal expectations? Socrates would urge you to put these fundamental beliefs on trial. The Socratic method often begins with simple questions. What do you mean by that? Why do you believe that to be true? What are the consequences if that belief is false? These questions are not meant to attack, but to illuminate, to peel back the layers of assumption and reveal the core of an idea. Challenging everything can feel uncomfortable, even disruptive. It means questioning traditions, authorities, and perhaps even ideas that provide comfort. Yet, Socrates saw this discomfort as the precursor to growth, the intellectual friction necessary to spark new insights and forge stronger, more reasoned convictions. True comfort comes from truth, not from unquestioned habit. Think of a belief you hold strongly. Now, try to argue passionately for the opposite. This Socratic exercise isn't about abandoning your convictions, but about understanding them more deeply by exploring their alternatives and uncovering potential weaknesses or unexamined biases in your own reasoning. It strengthens your intellectual honesty. Socrates engaged in dialogues in the marketplaces, questioning artisans, politicians, and poets. He found that many who claimed expertise often couldn't articulate the foundations of their knowledge. Their wisdom was often rote learning or opinion, not deep understanding. This revealed the widespread nature of unexamined lives. The genius we seek is often obscured by the fear of being wrong, of looking foolish. Socrates embraced intellectual humility. By admitting what he didn't know, he opened himself to learning. When we drop the pretense of knowing everything, we create space for genuine discovery and allow our innate curiosity to flourish. Challenge the obvious. Many things we consider self-evident are merely culturally conditioned or habitually accepted. What seems obvious in one era or culture is questioned in another. By stepping outside our ingrained perspectives, even momentarily, we can see familiar things with fresh, genius-sparking eyes. An unexamined life is not worth living, Socrates declared. This isn't a judgment, but an invitation to engage actively with your own mind, to question, to explore, to define your own values and truths rather than passively accepting them. This active engagement is the process of unlocking your genius. When you challenge an assumption, you're not just deconstructing, you're creating space for something new to emerge. It's like clearing a cluttered room. Only when the old, unneeded items are removed can you truly see the potential of the space and furnish it with intention and purpose. One common assumption is, "I'm not creative" or "I'm not a genius." Socrates would ask, "By what standard do you measure this? Who told you this? What if this belief itself is limiting your innate capacity?" Challenging this single assumption can be profoundly liberating. The process of questioning can be likened to a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. The beautiful form, the genius, is already within. The sculptor's skill lies in removing the excess, the unneeded material, our unexamined beliefs and fears, to reveal the masterpiece hidden inside. Ask why repeatedly like a curious child. Why is this rule in place? Why do I react this way? Why is this considered important? Each why can take you deeper past the surface explanations towards fundamental principles, or sometimes towards the realization that there's no good reason at all. Socrates was eventually condemned to death for corrupting the youth and impiety, essentially, for encouraging people to question established norms. This highlights the resistance one might face, but it also underscores the profound power of questioning. It can threaten old structures by revealing their weaknesses. Your hidden genius thrives on intellectual courage, the courage to doubt, to explore uncomfortable truths, to stand apart from the crowd if your reasoned conclusions lead you there. This courage is not recklessness, but a commitment to intellectual integrity, a core Socratic virtue. Consider the source of your information. Is it credible? What are its biases? What is its agenda? In an age of information overload, the Socratic skill of critically evaluating sources is more crucial than ever for clear thinking and avoiding manipulation. Challenging how things have always been done is often the first step towards innovation and progress. Many breakthroughs in science, art, and society began with someone daring to question the unquestionable and to imagine a different way. Your own personal breakthroughs can begin the same way. Don't confuse challenging with being contrarian for its own sake. Socratic inquiry is rooted in a genuine desire for truth and understanding, not just argument. It seeks to build up, not just tear down. It's a constructive process, even when it involves deconstruction first. The Socratic dialogues often ended in aporia, a state of perplexity or recognizing the limits of one's knowledge. This isn't failure, it's success. It's the clearing away of false certainty, making way for genuine inquiry to begin. It's the fertile ground where your genius can take root. How can you apply this today? Pick one belief you hold about your work, your relationships, or yourself. Ask, how do I know this is true? What evidence supports it? What if the opposite were true? Journal your thoughts. This simple act can start to shift your perspective. Know thyself was inscribed at the Oracle of Delphi, a maxim central to Socratic thought. Challenging your external world is deeply intertwined with challenging your internal world, your motivations, your fears, your desires. This self-examination is key to unlocking your unique genius. Many people operate on autopilot, guided by unexamined habits and societal scripts. The Socratic method is a way to take the controls consciously. It's about waking up from this cognitive slumber and actively participating in the creation of your understanding and your life. When you challenge an idea, you're also testing its strength. Truly robust ideas withstand scrutiny and emerge stronger. Weak ideas, propped up by assumption or authority alone, may crumble. This process helps you build a more resilient and reliable framework of understanding. Think about the language you use. Words are powerful, they shape our thoughts. Socrates paid close attention to definitions. What is justice? What is beauty? By questioning definitions, he revealed ambiguities and deepened understanding. Challenge the meaning of the words you use daily. Your hidden genius might also be a unique perspective that only you can bring. By questioning conformity and daring to think differently, you allow your distinct voice and insights to emerge. The world needs diverse thinkers, not clones. The fear of social disapproval often stops us from questioning. Socrates faced this intensely. Cultivating inner resilience and valuing truth over acceptance are crucial for this path. Your allegiance is to understanding, not necessarily to fitting in. When you encounter a problem that seems intractable, try questioning the assumptions underlying your approach. Are you defining the problem correctly? Are there other ways to look at it? Often, a shift in perspective, sparked by questioning, reveals a new solution. The Socratic method is not about finding all the answers. It's about falling in love with the questions. The questions themselves open up the mind, expand possibilities, and keep the spirit of inquiry alive. This ongoing inquiry is the genius in action. Imagine a mental toolkit. Socratic questioning is one of the most powerful tools you can possess. It allows you to dissect arguments, clarify your own thoughts, understand others more deeply, and continuously learn and grow throughout your life. Challenge the notion of failure. For Socrates, an inquiry that revealed ignorance was not a failure, but a step towards wisdom. Reframe your mistakes or failures as learning opportunities, as data points that refine your understanding. This is how genius adapts and evolves. Intellectual humility, the Socratic "I know that I know nothing," is not a weakness but a superpower. It keeps you open, curious, and teachable. The moment you think you know it all, your growth stops. True genius is always learning. When you challenge your assumptions, you begin to see how much of your reality is constructed by your mind. This realization gives you the power to reconstruct it more consciously, to choose beliefs that empower you and align with your deepest values. Ask yourself, what am I taking for granted? This could be a relationship, a skill, a societal structure, or a piece of common knowledge. Shining the Socratic light on the taken for granted can reveal hidden complexities, beauties, or flaws. Socrates believed virtue is knowledge, meaning, if we truly knew what was good, we would do it. Much harmful action stems from ignorance or unexamined beliefs. By questioning and seeking true understanding, we also cultivate our capacity for ethical action. The gadfly was a metaphor Socrates used for himself, annoying the state into self-examination, like a fly stinging a lazy horse. Sometimes, your inner Socratic voice needs to be that gadfly to your own comfortable but unexamined thoughts. Don't just challenge others. Be prepared to have your own cherished beliefs challenged. This requires intellectual openness and a non-defensive posture. See it as a gift, an opportunity to refine your views or discover a deeper truth. The process of Socratic inquiry fosters critical thinking, which is essential not just for philosophical pursuits but for navigating everyday life, making informed decisions, solving problems, and communicating effectively. It's a life skill of immense value. What assumptions are embedded in the media you consume, the advertisements you see, the political rhetoric you hear? Practice dissecting these messages using Socratic questions. This builds your immunity to manipulation and your capacity for independent thought. Your inner genius isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions. It's about the quality of your inquiry. A well-posed question can be more powerful than 1,000 shallow answers. Cultivate the art of powerful questioning. When faced with a dogma, whether religious, political, or scientific, ask, what are its foundational premises? Are they verifiable? What are the limitations of this viewpoint? This doesn't mean rejecting faith or tradition, but engaging with them more thoughtfully. Socrates emphasized care for the psyche or soul. He believed this was our most important task. Challenging beliefs that harm the soul, beliefs rooted in fear, hatred, or ignorance, is essential for its health and the flourishing of our inner genius. The world is full of experts. Socrates teaches us to distinguish between genuine expertise, rooted in deep understanding and evidence, and the mere appearance of expertise based on authority or rhetoric alone. Questioning is the key to this discernment. Challenging your beliefs can lead to a profound sense of freedom. You are no longer a prisoner of inherited ideas or societal conditioning. You become the architect of your own mind, capable of choosing your thoughts and beliefs with intention. To find yourself, think for yourself. This quote, often attributed to Socrates, encapsulates the journey. Your unique genius, your authentic self, emerges not from conformity, but from the courageous act of independent, critical thought. When you start questioning, you might find that many societal rules are arbitrary or outdated. This doesn't mean immediate rebellion, but it gives you the clarity to navigate these rules more wisely, and perhaps to contribute to their evolution. Embrace paradox. Socratic inquiry often reveals that reality is more complex and nuanced than our black and white categories suggest. Holding contradictory ideas in tension, without needing immediate resolution, can be a sign of a sophisticated, genius mind. Is there a truth that you're afraid to acknowledge, either about the world or about yourself? Socratic courage involves facing these uncomfortable truths, because only by acknowledging reality can we effectively engage with it and grow. The Socratic method is a lifelong practice. It's not something you master once and then set aside. Every day offers new opportunities to question, learn, and refine your understanding. Your genius is not a fixed state, but an ongoing process of unfolding. When you challenge assumptions, you often uncover hidden biases, your own and others. Recognizing these biases is the first step to overcoming them and achieving a clearer, more objective view of reality. This is a vital aspect of intellectual growth. Engaging in Socratic dialogue with others, respectfully questioning and being questioned, can be incredibly enriching. It sharpens your own thinking and exposes you to diverse perspectives, accelerating the unlocking of collective genius. What if your current limitations are not real, but merely unexamined beliefs you've accepted as truth? Challenge these self-imposed boundaries. You might discover you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. This is the promise of Socratic inquiry. The unexamined belief is like a weed in the garden of your mind. It chokes out the potential for healthier, more truthful thoughts to grow. Socratic questioning is the act of carefully uprooting these weeds, allowing your inner wisdom to flourish. Socrates did not offer answers. He offered a method to find your own answers. This empowers you, making you an active seeker of truth rather than a passive recipient of information. Your genius lies in this active seeking. Consider the role of intuition. While Socrates emphasized reason, the process of deep questioning can also clear the mental clutter that obscures intuitive insights. When the noise of assumption is silenced, the subtle voice of your inner genius can be heard. Wisdom begins in wonder, Socrates is believed to have said. Cultivate a sense of wonder about the world and about your own mind. This natural curiosity is the fuel for Socratic inquiry and the wellspring of your hidden genius. Challenging everything includes challenging your own comfort zones. Growth rarely happens within them. Each time you question something that feels safe, but unexamined, you expand your capacity for truth and resilience. The answers you arrive at through your own rigorous questioning are far more valuable and deeply integrated than those passively accepted. They become part of you, shaping your authentic worldview and empowering your actions. Socrates' legacy is not a doctrine, but an invitation to a way of life, a life of perpetual inquiry, self-examination, and intellectual honesty. This is the path to unlocking not just fleeting moments of brilliance, but an enduring state of engaged, awakened genius. Don't be afraid to say, "I don't know." These three words are often the gateway to true learning. They open the door for curiosity and investigation, whereas pretending to know closes it firmly. Embrace the Socratic humility that fuels genius. Your mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Socratic questioning is the spark. It ignites your innate curiosity, your critical faculties, and your capacity for original thought, fanning the flames of your hidden genius. As a practical step, start a question journal. Each day, write down one assumption you've identified in yourself or the world around you, and then explore it with Socratic questions. Watch how this simple habit begins to transform your thinking. The courage to challenge everything is the courage to be truly alive intellectually. It is to refuse to sleepwalk through life, accepting handed-down truths. It is to claim your birthright as a thinking, reasoning, and evolving human being. Remember, the goal is not to become a nihilist who believes in nothing, but a discerning thinker who builds their beliefs on a solid foundation of reason and evidence, having courageously cleared away the debris of unexamined assumptions. This is constructive, not destructive. The hidden genius is your authentic self, unburdened by dogma, fear, and conformity. Socrates provides the tools to excavate this self. By challenging everything, you challenge the layers obscuring your own inherent brilliance. So the Socratic invitation echoes through the ages. Dare to question. Dare to think for yourself. Dare to examine your life. For in this courageous inquiry lies the key to unlocking the vast, untapped genius that resides within you. Embrace the journey of questioning. It may not always be easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It is the path to self-discovery, authentic wisdom, and the full expression of your unique, inherent genius. What will you challenge today?